you know, and I did my absolute best to hang in there. So it was always off and on, tug and pull, off and on, you know. And with those on and offs, I would meet people with the hopes of that I would, go further with them and say that I don't have to look back no more on the one who was, I fell in love with, and so that is where I had a lot of trouble in my trust level with people that I was meeting in between that 8-9 year relationship off and on thing. So my trust level was just shot, and it seemed like I was always lining up these little tests just to see if they would pass these tests. And one, it was from the door that I let them know about the smoking, drinking, and getting high thing. I wasn't about that, you know. I did all that stuff when I was young, and I ran my course with it. So, I mean, not even a celebration for New Year's or Christmas. Why? I just don't see the purpose of it, other than people saying it's celebrating. I can celebrate the same way without that. I can get sparkling juice, dagnabbit, and be just as happy. I can be as goofy as any drunk person. So, what was the purpose? And I just see the damage that it done my people over time, thinking that they can handle it, and it wound up ruining them and relationships and families and lives and everything. So I'm not going to tamper in it anymore, and I don't want to deal with somebody who does. So that was the off and on. But I fell in love with somebody who was battling with that fight. But I was in love with this person, and if I was to be honest with myself today, I still love that person. Jacked up, but it's a reality, So I've tried to just, hey, let me just get in a relationship, find somebody, move on. You know what I mean? I even got married, you know, one time in the middle of that 8 year stretch of dealing with the person that I was in love with. So I got married. And then that didn't even last a whole solid year, because of my lack of trust, my trust thing. It was all me, really. And if they had not, come to me with finding, I don't know, I guess maybe it was just hard for them to be able to show trust, or to make me feel like I could trust them, And it was very hard for the person who dealt with me. So, I really kind of used to call myself, even today, I would even say I'm damaged goods, because of it, because of what it did to my mental, and I did a lot of damage to myself. And I think in and out of relationships have played a good part in it as well. I don't, and I'm a very caring and giving person. And I don't really give up really easy, but it seemed like if I have done a long stretch with somebody, I don't give up that easy. But if it's somebody I just met, like I met, very nice people along the way, and they liked me and all, but I had a trust problem still. And then when I saw that I felt that I couldn't trust them, could have been one or two instances, I put them track shoes on and be gone. And I said I wouldn't do that anymore, but I'm still doing it. Now, I don't know if it's because my standards are too high. Not that I'm anybody to even have high standards, but there are certain things that I have developed that I can't deal with anymore. I just couldn't deal with it. I did everything I possibly could to deal with things that most people would be like, oh, that's not a big problem. But for me, it was a big problem. You know, that is something is not right. And I know it's not, but and even if I tried to deal with it, force myself to stay there, then I am being not real and phony and fake. And me being phony and fake makes me unhappy. By me being unhappy, of course, it reflects on the person that I'm dealing with. It makes them unhappy. And then I become this, and then I became, because of COVID comes around and everything, I wound up being this homebody guy. Don't go nowhere, don't do nothing. Only time I really go somewhere if I have to go to work, or if I have to go out to the store, or if I have to go out and do whatever around the house and stuff like that. But I'm never really going anywhere, That's what, now it seems like the trust has impounded because of COVID. I don't know who's doing what, and if people are not conducting themselves in a safe manner, I feel, then I pretty much be like, nope, wait a minute, I don't think so. We can be cool, but we ain't gonna be seeing a whole lot of each other because it seems like you just like going out a lot. You're doing an awful lot with a whole bunch of people. This is not funny, man, but I'm sharing this very intimate thing with you guys because I feel as if a lot of people probably could be dealing with some stuff similar. And only advice that I have for that is to, well, I hear women say all the time, don't lower your standards because of the situation. Be patient. And that is my grandson crying back there. Seems like every time I start working these days that he start whining about something. The women are out there with him, so still he's finding something to be complaining about. But I just got to a point now that I have learned how to kind of put things. I'm still trying to put things in a proper perspective for me, and I found that there's a lot of women who feel like lowering their standards, dealing with somebody that wouldn't meet up to their criteria. And for women it's slightly different than for men. Well, for me anyway. I can only speak for me. I can't speak for all men. But my criteria consists of the smoking, drinking, and getting high thing. And basically who you keep around you in your circle. And if you are coming from a toxic ex relationship, toxic now, does it is it really having hanging on? Did it affect you? Like some things I've done in my time affect me today. So I am far from perfect. I'm not telling y'all this to make it seem like I'm perfect at all. I'm telling y'all this because it could be somebody dealing with something similar. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. So I'm gonna start to end this about 5 more minutes, but I just feel as if that I want to share it with somebody that might be going through something, and what my advice would be, and if it's even worth me giving advice because I'm not successful in a relationship at this point, but I'm successful in not making the right choices, it seems like. But I still think that you should go keep a standard, definitely. If you see great change in a person, okay, from the time you met them versus, the time that you are now, and if you see some progress with them, then I believe a break sometime will help the situation, or either it's going to end it. If you take a break, it's more than likely going to do one of the two. It's either going to help it because both persons are going to realize that I missed that individual, or both persons are going to realize, you know what, I don't need that individual. I'm moving on. It's better for me to move on. And even sometimes when you do that, your heart is still attached. And that's the part a lot of people seem to be battling with. Like me, I battle with my heart being attached to someone, and I'm still trying and fighting to stay focused, staying focused. But I have come to a decision about that. You guys will hear about that decision somewhere in the future, and so for those of you who are going through something, I would simply give the advice of you give yourself, make a decision about it, regardless if it's yay or nay, and do your absolute best to stick to it. That's the best advice I can give, because I've done both. I've tried to stick to it and failed, and then I've tried to stay and it failed, and I tried to leave and it failed with one person though. I never did a constant back and forth with numerous people. I may have did it with 2 people, in my entire being involved in relationships. Most times when me and somebody went our separate ways, that's what it was. But it was two people that I did this with, and this last individual, it's like there's something still connected there. But as far as my ex-wives or whatever, that's a wrap. That's not ever happening again. So yeah, this is tight. This is tight right here. You know what I mean? This is something that, whoo, Lord, they're gonna be like, oh, Daryl, man, you ain't had to tell. You didn't tell. You didn't put your business out there, bro. Dang nabbit, man. Yeah, it's out there. You know what I mean? You know why? It's out there because it might help somebody. I try to be selfishless, right? And that's it, selfishless or selfishless. Yeah, I try to be that. I'm not gonna just because it seemed like it's a embarrassing situation that no, you just can't. No, not that. You can't. No, I pick and choose what I let people know about me, and that's something I don't mind letting people know, because it's somebody somewhere going through something similar, right? So on that note, y'all, I could do a part 2 on this, but I'll leave it up to the rest of y'all. Y'all want to hear more about relationships with I Real Be Free. I don't really want to be free right now, you know what I mean? But I seem like this is where I am in a sense. Y'all don't know the real. But y'all know what I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? And that's good enough for now. So on that note, if I do want to add this though, in closing, if I have hurt anyone in and out of relationships, if I just met you, or if I've been with you for a while, if I was married to you and then divorced or separated, well, there ain't no more separation, but if I'm divorced or whatever, and if I hurt you in any way, let me be the one right now to say, forgive me, I apologize, but I am the damaged goods. I am the guy that was at fault in a lot of the things that it went down, whatever they were. And I'm telling everybody who dealt with me, who know me, I apologize. Please forgive me. Right? That's all I can do. I can't do any more than that. But I will continue to push on, and I will find that individual, which to be honest with you, I know what I'm going to do, and it's going to be a final decision on it, regardless of how people feel about it. And I'm not going to worry about how people feel. I'm just going to go with where my heart is. And that's it. Bottom line, go with your heart. As long as it's not a highly toxic situation, if it's not toxic, go where your heart is leading you to go. You got to be wise about it, of course, still, yes. Love don't pay bills. I understand that. As long as it's not toxic in a way that is violent to you or the other person, follow your heart. If you know that you're not hurting anyone else, and you two can build together, regardless on whatever difficulties y'all may have had, but if you're seeing growth in that person, if you see the growth, and they see the growth in you, then don't give up. And if y'all really connecting well, sometimes, the beliefs can be the difference. One person can believe this and the other person can believe that. But you kind of feel like you love that person, but because of the beliefs, it kind of like drives y'all apart. If you're battling with something similar to that, then you have to really put on a scale if staying with that individual is going to be a healthy thing or not, or by staying with that person, will we last because of our different beliefs? Love is strong. Love can have a person actually even change some of their beliefs. Right? And if you can have your beliefs match somewhat close to, you're never going to be perfect. No two people are going to be perfect, because there's no two people the same. And if they were, I wonder if that would even work. But you got to have like a little positive, negative going on, but not so much that it's volatile. So I would just simply say, follow your heart, follow what's wise, follow what's good, follow what God has led you to do. If you prayed about it, because I've been doing a whole lot of praying about my relationship, my failed relationships, and my potential plan that I have for a relationship. I'm praying constantly for it. That's between me and God. I would tell you the same thing. Pray about your situation. If there's any answers, if any good answers, I may not have even given you a good suggestion or a good answer prior to saying, pray about it. That's the best answer anybody can really give you. Pray about it, and when you do all you can to make it work and it still does not work, then you're going to have to make a decision, a final decision. It's either you're going to continue with it or you're going to break it loose. That goes to every human being in and out of relationships. And that's a piece of me I'm sharing with y'all. So, on that note, pray about it. Right? There it is. Yeah, I'm done. Whew. Oh my Lord, I knew I was going to put myself in the hot seat, and I did that. But it's okay. All right? Listen, y'all. Treat people. Let's do it this way. Treat people. Yeah. Like you want to be treated. And it'll come back round, because it has for me. Don't feel sorry for me, y'all. Don't cry for me. Just pray for me. That ain't even funny. I gotta laugh it off, because if I don't, I probably would cry. I don't got sensitive in my old age. Anyway, listen. One love to each and every one of y'all. I'm gonna catch you on the rebound. Yeah.